Hello everybody! Today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to show you my impressive vinyl collection, and what I want you to do is tell me down in the comments if my collection is similar to yours or how it differs from yours. What's your dream record collection or vinyl collection? I dropped my camera before and I don't think it's okay. It was really acting whack, but now it's slightly better, but it still goes in and out of focus, so I hope it can hold on for the rest of this video. So I'm going to start off with, because I've got hundreds of vinyls.
Oh my god! Wow!
So I'm going to start off with the one that you see in the background all the time. Clancy by 21 Pilots. This one's the newest addition to my collection. I love this album. I love 21 Pilots. I love all their old stuff and their newer stuff. Fortunately, there is I don't know why my camera is focusing on that. There is a few skips for me on this album, but overall, and I wouldn't even call them skips, I can still listen to them. Overall, it's an album that I can listen to on repeat, and I still do listen to it almost daily. I tend to skip The Craving. It's a beautiful song. Both versions are beautiful songs. They're just a bit slower for me and they sound very personal, and that's fine. I don't mind them, but I do tend to skip them. The other one I tend to skip is Oldie Station and Snap Back, again because they're sort of slower for me. I can appreciate that they're good songs, they're just not completely up my alley. Other than that, all the other songs I absolutely love, and yeah, I'm a big fan of 21 Pilots, as you probably guessed from my other videos, and yeah. So let's get on to the other vinyls in my collection. Okay, so I might have lied in saying that I have the most impressive collection of vinyl records. No! I don't, but I'm trying to build my record collection. Okay, so before you exit out of this video, just hear me out.
I'm out.
You can't.
Deuces.
I'm going to show you my desired vinyl record collection, okay? So it's just all going to be digital, obviously. I'm a loser and I only have one vinyl to date, and that is the 21 Pilots one. I grew up on CDs and I grew up with tapes as well, and the thought of vinyls or records were always in the back of my mind. My dad has a huge record collection, and I just thought they were sort of a thing of the past, and you know, nothing really more than a collector's item. Now that I'm in the music industry, I really feel like it would be worth it building my record collection and finding a few rare gems, and eventually purchasing a really cool record player. So if you're still watching, here are my top, I don't know how many there's going to be, but here are the top records that I wish I had and I'm going to try and get for my record collection. Okay, so the second album, and by the way, these are going to be across a multitude of genres, because the second album that I would have without a doubt in my vinyl record collection is Black Market Music by Placebo. This album for me was one of the very first albums I heard, just getting into that sort of emo phase, and Placebo blew my mind away. At first I thought Brian Molko's voice was a bit annoying, I have to admit, but then I couldn't stop listening to them, and Black Market Music really introduced my own style into the type of music that I liked and wanted to listen to. The Black Market Music was released in 2000, I didn't know it was that old. It is Placebo's second album, so that makes sense. And the songs on here, there's only a few that I would skip, but are still listenable. And the ones I would skip are Peeping Tom. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's alright, it's not bad. Commercial for Levi. I think that's the only one that I would skip. And my personal favourite song from that album is Hemoglobin. It just packs a punch, and they sound so unique, Placebo. I know people will probably disagree with me, but I really think their sound is unique. Brian Molko's vocals and, you know, Stefan's bass, I think he plays bass, yeah, bass, they just sound so unique, and I think they've usually been a three-piece band, so to get that sound, that amazing sound from a three-piece band, again, the three-piece bands have been blowing me away lately. I think they're more alternative indie, so if you're into the, indie, but more on the alternative side, I reckon, grungy vibes, then you'll like Placebo. You've probably already heard of them. They had two really popular hits. Okay, so the third album would have to be Korn's self-titled album, Korn. Now, when I was younger, I wasn't actually really allowed to listen to Korn and Slipknot. I think my parents just thought they were a bit too intense for me. They were two bands that were definitely around when I was younger and had already made a name for themselves, and they were everywhere. But now that I'm older and I can listen to what I want, I absolutely love Slipknot and Korn. I'm really getting back into all of Korn's albums, but the self-titled one I think is just... And I will be seeing them at Good Things in December, so that's awesome. That'll be my first time seeing them, so I can't wait. Okay, the next one is a bit of a tough one for me to choose between which record I prefer, so I'm just going to say them both. It's the Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness and Siamese Dream. I am a huge fan of the Smashing Pumpkins. My thoughts on Billy, I'm not going to say them here, but yeah, I'm not going to go into it. I know he can be problematic. It's a band that my mum actually showed me when I was very little, and you know, starting out I didn't really think much of them, but as I grew up, of course, grew to love them. The next one should come as no surprise to all of you because in nearly all of my videos I've mentioned them, but it would be him, Razor Blade Romance. I don't know what else to say. I love nearly all the songs on the album, and I have a thing for Villa Vallo. I'm sure I haven't said that right. Villa Vallo? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he's a cutie. Love his voice. Love everything about them. I got into them through watching Viva La Bam. I was obsessed with Bam Margera, and naturally I was obsessed with everything that he liked. Eventually I grew out of Viva La Bam and just continued liking him, and here we are today, and yeah, love them. There's a few albums of theirs as well, like the Greatest Love Songs Volume 666. I love that album as well, but if I had to choose one, it would be Razor Blade Romance. The next one is Detones, Around the Fur. I've again loved them since I was introduced to them when I was very little. I heard them on the radio a lot. I'm pretty sure my dad played them quite a bit. My dad grew up in England. It's the lamb sauce! During the punk sort of era, and he likes to think he was a punk, so I have a heavy influence of like the Sex Pistols and the Buzzcocks, all of those sorts of bands that were really big in punk, The Who, The Clash. I like all of them as well. Also listened to some great American bands that were around the times of the 90s, early 2000s, so I was really lucky that I got introduced to some really good music from my parents, from both of them. My mum was a huge fan of The Cure and the Smashing Pumpkins and also the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I used to love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but everything that's come out about Anthony Kiedis, which I guess I should have already known because I did read Scar Tissue, and yeah, things were problematic from way back when, but I read that when I was still a kid, so I didn't really know what to make of all that. But now I can look back and realise that yeah, he's probably not the best person in the world. In saying that, I have sort of stopped listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anyway, yeah, back to Deftones, love them, love Chino. Diamond Eyes is another really good album too that I like, but I'd have to say my favourite is Around the Fur. Okay, the next one is an Australian band, which you may or may not have heard of. They're my most favourite Australian band, besides AC/DC, and they're called Grinspoon, and their album Guide to Better Living, my goodness, another one that has nearly no songs that I skip. Really awesome sort of punky rock and grungy sort of feel to them. I love their stuff. I highly recommend you check them out if you're looking for a good Aussie punky grungy band. Give Grinspoon a go. Their other album, New Detention, as well has some of my most favourite songs ever on there. There is songs on that album that I would skip, so okay, the next band that I would definitely include a vinyl or a few of their vinyls in is Joy Division. Absolutely love Joy Division. Again, one of those bands that I was introduced to very young from my dad, and I've seen the movie Control. Very sad. I think it's such a shame that Ian Curtis is gone. Such a talent. His voice is amazing. I also love New Order that came after Joy Division, after Ian Curtis passed away. And I would have one of their albums in my record collection too. A huge influence on me growing up in my teenage angsty emo years. Absolutely love Joy Division and New Order. Okay, moving right along to Fall Out Boy, and I don't want to pick just one album because I love all their songs, not all their songs, but I love a lot of their songs across different albums. Some of my favourite songs are from Infinity on High, the others are from Under the Cork Tree and Say Rock and Roll. Mania was a good album, but it went in a different direction, and of course I love so much for Stardust, their latest release. I love nearly every song on that album, so maybe if I had to choose one, I would choose So Much for Stardust. I love Fall Out Boy. Enough said. And I can't mention Fall Out Boy without mentioning My Chemical Romance, of course. I love My Chemical Romance as well. And the album that I would choose for My Chemical Romance is probably Bullets, this one right here. It was one of their first albums, and in my opinion is the best because it's just so raw, and you can tell they haven't perfected everything like they have on Welcome to the Black Parade. It's just not so engineered and anything, and you can really tell Gerard's voice is like prime. And they're from New Jersey. I've been to New Jersey. I went to the Warp Tour there a few years ago, and that was amazing. I got to see Blink-182, Offspring, and a few other bands that I really wanted to see, so that was amazing. I think that was the last Warp Tour ever. The last record that I'm going to talk about is Electric Callboys Techno. You may have seen me wearing some of their shirts in the videos before. I am a huge fan of all of their stuff, but Techno in particular, their album for me. Again, almost no skips. They're an awesome metal band from Germany, and they're funny. Their shows are amazing. I've been to one and I'm going to another one. I can't wait. It's so high energy. And when they came over here and played in Australia, they were actually down one of their lead singers, and you couldn't tell. I mean, you could, but you couldn't. It was like he almost wasn't missing, if that makes any sense. Nico put on such a show by himself. They're all really talented. I have spoken to one of them, and yeah, they're just really nice guys. And the drummer, Kevin, I believe it's Kevin, at the end of one show, at the end of our show, he was giving everyone high fives and giving away, drumsticks and picks and things like that. And they brought the kids up on the stage, and it was so beautiful, so sweet. So yeah, I really like them, and I really think they're going to be really huge. Well, they already are huge, but I think they're really going to just explode. I'm going to give a special mention because I could just talk on hours about my favourite music, so I'm just going to give a few special mentions, and I might even do a part 2 of this if you guys are interested, which you probably might, won't sure. Anyway, special mention to Deliver the Galaxy, Bury Your Gods. Love that album, got to review it, spoke to the guys, they're awesome. They're a smaller German metal band, and they're just coming up with really cool stuff. They focus on like ancient aliens and all that sort of stuff. It's really cool. Another special mention to Polaris, the Australian metal band. Love their stuff. I followed them since the beginning. Yeah, absolutely love their stuff. Kid Cudi, his older stuff, I'm wearing a Kid Cudi jumper at the moment, but yeah, his older stuff, absolutely love, and was the soundtrack to my teenage years growing up. Love Kid Cudi. Dizzy Rascal, I know, a random one, but I love Dizzy Rascal. I love that British rap. I got to see him live as well in a really tiny theatre, and it felt like we were standing on the balcony, and it felt like the balcony was going to fall through, but anyway, great show, loved it. Good Charlotte, I love a lot of Good Charlotte stuff. The Offspring. Motorhead, of course, great band. There's another Australian band called The Living End. They're more sort of punk rockabilly, really, really cool. I recommend you check them out as well. Linkin Park, again, a band I play almost on the daily. Love a lot of their songs. I think Chester Bennington was such a talent, such a talent. And last but not least, 50 Cent. I love 50 Cent. Who doesn't like 50 Cent? Come on. Good like 50 Cent. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. There is bands that I have missed here, so please don't judge me solely on this selection of music. That's just a few vinyls from my very impressive digital vinyl collection. But yeah, please tell me in the comments below if you guys like any of those bands, or if you haven't heard of any of them and you want to find out more. I'd be happy to chat with you about them. Tell me about your dream vinyl collection. I really want to know what albums you'd include in there and why. Thanks for watching this one. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can watch some of my recent interviews. I recently did an interview with someone from Grand Magus, the Swedish metal band, and that was cool, and that'll be up soon. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.